Here's some. I'm on afternoon shift work. I won't be back until 8. Okay, so I guess he can't come. Um, all right. Uh, so first I wanted to address the location of the kitchenette. I think Tim misunderstood. I thought I was clear about we wanted to keep the door to the main room because it's part of the whole woodwork of the fireplace wall. And the other, we would remove the door entirely from the other side, and that would make it ADA accessible. Um, so I can ask him again if both doors have to be ADA accessible, or if one ADA accessible entrance, which he said when I initially talked to him, he said that as long as there's an ADA access to that room, it would be okay, and there's enough room to turn around with a wheelchair.
So
So,
Zan, just to be clear, which doors are you talking about?
okay. The door, we would leave the door as discussed from the main room because it's part of that fireplace wall. In
Leave,
order to, in order
well,
to
there's
get,
doors on either side of the fireplace.
okay. The door on the left-hand side is scheduled to be widened and be ADA accessible. The one where the kitchen is now. And the plan provided by Silver Petrocelli was to take out the hallway wall and the doorway to the back room and make that just a more open space.
Okay, that jives with what I remember then. Okay.
Right. And then we were going to go in from that side to the kitchenette,
Mhm.
and that would be accessible. So I think that should be okay. But I will call Tim again because I guess he didn't do it right away and didn't take notes or whatever. Anyway, I think when I went over it with him, he seemed to think it was fine. So I'm surprised that uh, you have to have two doors that are ADA accessible. Anyway, so in the meantime, since our last meeting, we have lost the availability of the carpenter. So I'm not recommending that I don't think there's time to find another carpenter and get the work done on that floor. But I've put together a list of the items that we would have, there's enough money in the budget to cover. First of all, the environmental testing comes out of that budget, which is $1,145. Then the painting contractor, I'm sorry I didn't send these to you, but I can't get my scanner to work. So I couldn't scan it in to forward it. The painter's proposal is to, if, and Joyce, I'm assuming that you still haven't found anybody to clean Swift House, just that one room.
No, I have not.
Have you found anybody for the community house?
Not yet.
Okay, well, anyway, so he put a number in for doing the cleaning. It has to be absolutely spick and span because he doesn't want dust in the paint. Cleaning, repairing the stain damage above the fireplace and on the one wall, and any cracks in the ceiling that need prep and plaster smoothing. Finish paint materials, total cost $7,575. To which, if we can get a carpenter to remove the moldings and replace them, I found a suitable molding that's small and can be used for picture hanging, and it's $2.10 a foot. We would need 100 feet. I measured that. There are some areas where we don't need it. And so there would be a small amount added to remove and reinstall prime and paint, which would probably be somewhere in the vicinity of $2,200. And the other thing that I pursued, which I think would be very good to do, is to put a vapor. I found a contractor that does spray insulation. 4 inches of spray foam insulation has an R factor of 30, which is a very good number to have for underneath the floor in the back room. They would put a vapor barrier down on the earth and up the walls to the joist, to the top of the joist. They would seal the vapor barrier, and they would do 4 inches of spray foam insulation. And that would cost $4,300.80. So if we can find somebody to deal with the molding in the main room, the total of all those accumulated costs would be $14,230.80. And I think you said, Joyce, that there was 16.5 or something still available in the budget. Joyce, are you with us?
I didn't check it today, but it's at least there's 14,000.
Yeah.
But can I ask about the insulation?
Yes.
If you're intending on making that the kitchen, does it make sense to have spray and insulation put in now to have to take it out to do the plumbing?
No, I'm not talking about putting it there now, because the whole floor has to be removed and the joist.
Where are you talking about? putting it?
I'm talking about the back room that's so cold all the time that you can't be there in the winter.
And
It
did that
has
floor,
now-
did that floor need repair though? I can't remember in the initial report. Was that floor gonna have to be
No.
repaired as
No,
well?
they would do it through the crawl space.
But that's where you're insulating, right?
They would insulate underneath the floor. They would put a vapor barrier down on the earth
Mm-hmm.
and seal all the seams, bring it up the walls to the floor joists,
Mhm.
and then they would put the spray foam insulation under the entire floor, 4 inches of insulation.
Right, but my question is, I don't recall, but in the report, was that floor even, or did some of those joists need to be repaired as well? I can't remember the floor in that room.
The floor is fine there.
Oh,
It's
okay.
even. Yeah. Now, only the little storage room, slopes significantly downhill. But the back room is a solid floor. It just is unheated, basically.
This is room number 3 in the Big East report. I'm looking at this diagram here just to make sure.
The Big East report.
It's on
Okay,
page
5, I think.
page 6, actually.
6, okay. Yeah, it's room number 3.
Great, the big one in the back. Okay.
Yeah, the big room in the back. Yeah, I mean, that room is uninhabitable in winter. And it just has a little, hopefully not too dangerous, electric heater in the back wall, but barely does anything. So, any questions about any of this? The insulation guy was he's part of the team from Eversource that they recommend to analyze and suggest the most energy efficient ways of dealing with heating issues. And he said absolutely that spray foam is the best way to go, especially with a vapor barrier, and he didn't think we needed to put a whole rat slab down there. As long as it was sealed from moisture.
So let's go through these numbers one more time. So the Big East report.
The Big East report cost $1,145. They've
1145.
completed their, yeah,
Okay.
they've completed their report. There was lead paint found inside and outside. I also sent to everybody the link that Steve DiNapoli, who's the person, I guess he's the owner of Big East Environmental. He sent me a link to the state regulations and confirmed that federal EPA requirements to deal for remediation of lead paint in buildings only applies to residences where young children are living, to daycare centers, and to nursery schools. Does not apply to commercial buildings or meeting places, or, does not apply to Swift House in any way. So, so we don't have to do a big removal and remediation there. We can paint over and we're fine. Or we don't even have to paint over. And the report, he said the only areas of concern for, future attention are ones where the surface type says impact, chewable, or friction. But that does not apply to anything other than places where young children are. Apparently lead paint is sweet, and I couldn't understand why and they talk about children chewing windowsills.
I've never known why. That's interesting.
It's because it has a sweet taste to it,
Hmm.
and they eat it like candy, flakes and
God.
things. So I learned something about that along the way. Anyway, so Big East is 1145. R.L. Sundgren Painting has given me a written proposal for $7,575. I was not able to reach him today to see how much more he would charge to prime and paint new molding where the ceiling and the walls and ceiling meet. But I can't imagine that would be more. The material itself is $210 for the wooden molding, 100 feet. And labor to remove, reinstall, prime and paint, I put in, $2,000. I don't know, but it would certainly, I can't imagine it would be more than that. I also have a written proposal from JT Home Services, the insulation people. And the rear room would be $4,300.80. And we can't do it now because we don't have anybody to remove and level the floor, but presumably we can deal with that after July 1st. I have a figure for that too. Let me see if that would be when we get to it. That would be a little over $2,000 to do the vapor barrier and the insulation there. And in that area, we might be able to get a partial rebate from the state, but the rebates are small. So doesn't make that much difference. So is there anything else here that you wanted to know more about? Asbestos testing. The only place they found asbestos was in some 12 by 12 white floor tiles in the bathroom on the first floor and the bathroom on the second floor. I don't know which bathroom, but it's probably on the diagram. But I will find out from him who we should call about getting that removed. The notation on that said it's in good condition and it's not friable. So maybe it doesn't require a special contractor to remove it, but we're not gonna remove it now anyway, so we'll find out about that before we get it done. I've got 5% battery on my computer. And I don't know where my charger is. I just brought it home from Vermont. I don't know where it's located. I'd like to make a motion that we pursue these 1, 2, 3 projects. And we've already commissioned for the testing, and that's already will be processed by Joyce, the bill. Do I hear a second?
I will second that, but I want, to go with the discussion here. So again, the Big East report that you said that's $11,000.
$1,145.
$145, correct. The painting of room two,
The main room,
the main room
Yeah.
2 on this report. That's going to be how much again? Is that $7,570?
$7,575, including fully cleaning the place first before the painting can take place.
And who would be doing this?
Rock Sundgren painting.
Okay. And then you said there was another 2,200 for mold removal, or is that part of that?
No, it's molding, not mold.
The picture
Molding.
rail,
Molding, the picture rail. It's in
Okay.
very bad shape in many places. It's all painted in, so you can't use it to hang things in a lot of places. And I've found a molding that is small. If you can see this, I don't know. It sets away from the wall so that you can hang things on the top of it.
Okay, so 2,200 for added molding.
To remove the existing molding, install new molding, prime it and paint it. If I can find a carpenter to remove it and then reinstall, I think that would be possible.
Is the painter going to repair the walls where the molding is removed? Because the
Yes.
new molding may not, he knows how to repair plaster.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, he has other places where he has to repair. Yeah, there's some cracks in the ceiling and, there are a few places here and there where there's prep work that needs to be done. I'm gonna lose you in a minute because I don't know where maybe I can get on my phone, but
Well, should we vote on this motion then?
it would be lovely if we could.
Real super fast, the spray insulation and the vapor barrier, you said we can't do that until after July 1st, but that's part of this motion?
No, that's a part of the work that they can do before the end of June.
Okay,
Just not in the little storage room which we now have to confirm, you know, will work for ADA accessibility.
Okay,
So not including that room, the whole back room with the crawl space underneath, it's open to the, you know, with a little exit doors that are outside.
And
That's
does-
and what's
ahead.
the price of that again? That's, you said 4,300?
$4,300.80.
And does the painting include the ceiling? Is that what you said?
Yes, well, yeah, where needed, right.
No,
Walls and ceiling.
where
Yeah.
needed or the whole room?
Let me just look at his proposal again. Finished painting. Yeah, walls and ceiling. 2 coats on all walls and ceilings.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Do we feel it necessary that the painter have this Big East report in hand?
I will
As-
give it to him.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, as long as the
Yeah, so-
painter
yeah. He
knows,
just, he'll be careful. He'll wear a mask. He has, you know, he's fine.
yeah, as long as the painter is aware of all of this,
Yeah.
that's a good thing. So,
I told him that we were testing.
okay, good.
Yeah, okay. All right, can we take a vote?
Any more questions? Marge, you have any more questions?
No, I am so
Good.
not good at numbers. I'm very glad that you're asking these questions and doing the math. So if you're comfortable with it, Glenn, then I'll go along.
Good. It
And it's
equals 15,220.
Within what Joyce says that is available. What?
Yeah, it equals 15,220, and Joyce says we have it, so I'm good to go.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. All
And
right,
one more question, all this work is gonna be completed before June 30th.
yes. If you approve it tonight, I will call them and tell them it's a go. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, all right. Let's get it done. Thank you, guys. And Joyce, I'll call Tim and go through the kitchenette issue with him again.
Okay.
Okay, thanks a
All right.
lot, guys.
Thanks.
Have a nice
Thank you.
evening.
You too.
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.